Well, here we are, and now we get down to the back down to the sanding again. Now it's the color sanding, and I'm using this Meguiar's. It's 1200, and I've cleaned it off here. You can see. Get my little squeegee. I made a little squeegees like from the bottom of a screen door or something. Handy little, cheap little way to do this. It really comes in handy though to have a little squeegee so you can look at your work. I would say it's especially critical when you're color sanding because you don't want to take too much off. I've got 3 good solid coats of clear on here, and well, I hate to think of all the sanding starting 3 years ago on this car. Wow, 3 years. I started in on this thing, tearing it apart. I started doing the body work. Oh my God, the sanding. Anyway, here we go again. But at least now, this is a better way, better kind of sanding to do. You can see here, I've got it most of the way down. This is where all your little imperfections will come out. And your little bugs and dust are going to come out here. So I get it almost smooth. It's funny, in some areas it flows out nice and flat. In other areas my clear came on with orange peel. I guess it doesn't help when you're painting in the wind. That might have something to do with it. But the other thing is the spray gun. I stepped up, instead of using the bargain gun from the local freight discounting place, I stepped up and ordered up a $100 gun, like a Sharp something gun, and they spray your paint on flatter. So if you want to save yourself a lot of sanding, get a half-ass decent HVLP gun. Okay, now what I'm going to do is keep sanding with this Meguiar's. They say to sand in one direction. Basically when I do this, I'm bearing down in one direction and drag it back. Everybody has their own way. But what I'm doing is just lifting it down and I'm staying a full inch away from this bevel here. I don't want to get anywhere near this with the bumper because I've already learned you touch that edge, you burn through. So I'm giving it plenty of leeway. On this edge here, I'll come up to within about a ½ inch of it. And when I lay it clear on here, I try to get plenty of clear around the edges. Try to make sure that I get all the edges good. So keep that in mind. I know most of you know this kind of stuff, but you know, some of the stuff you learn the hard way, though, and I certainly have. Of course, I'm not trying to tell you how to do it either, because this is all about how not to do things. But this isn't too bad, I have to admit. I've had some bad orange peel. I'm using those cheap guns, and then I'm telling you, I'm using like 320. Well, I even used a DA one time. It was so hard, I let it harden. See, that's the other problem. Don't let this stuff get hard. Right now, I am approaching my 48-hour window since I laid down this clear on this thing. And you don't want to wait any longer. What I've learned about this paint, it'll start hardening up and make your job a lot more difficult trying to sand and buff it out. So, here we are, coming up in 48 hours. It's not working out too bad. Shall we take a look? All right, let's take my squeegee on this thing and let's take a look at how we've done here. Maybe we'll get the camera down on this. You can see just the little areas. I'll hit that a little more right there. Now, I'm also going to hit this with 15, so I don't get it perfectly smooth. But you can see I have more sanding to do right in here. But this is coming along. There's 10-15 minutes worth of sanding on this one section of the hood here. And so we'll be doing this over the whole hood, and then I got to do my deck lid. And then I have to do the rest of the car that we painted last night. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, it was quite the ordeal. I tore this car apart. A friend of mine talked me into it, and I don't know if I regret it or what to say, but man, I'll probably have that posted up. Maybe it'll be a separate video. Maybe I'll put a link right in here, and you can click on that you can click on these links and watch another video, and then you can come right back. Just hit your back bar. You can come right back to this video, and you can fast forward to the place where you left off just by grabbing the little the cursor, grabbing that little counter underneath there, and pull it to where you want to resume watching the video. I'm not putting up any music with these videos, so I won't get gigged by YouTube, because I'm a YouTube partner. My videos are monetized. And that means I make a few pennies when you click on those ads. A few pennies. After months and months and months, I'll make $100 off of Google. Anyway, it's a little something. Alright, so am I done talking? As I say, this hood, I swear to God, I have a full 48-hour work week involved in just this hood. I bought it used on Craigslist, figured I'm getting a deal, $100. I had to strip it down, sand. It was harder than hell to strip. I used my DA, and I got divots in here. I'm wondering if they're going to show. We'll see when we get done, because you're up here working along the edges, and it digs in around in here, and you think it's okay, but when I shot the black on, I could see them. When I stood back, I could see them. But the clear will hide a lot of things. You'll see how that works. Okay, I'm looking pretty good in here. Okay, so here's the hood. I've washed it off, and took a break, got a drink of water, and put some new hot soapy water in my bucket. Yes, I use dish soap. I know they say don't use dish soap on your cars, but this is one time when you do want to use it. So here we have it. Let's take a look. It's not 100% yet. I'm going to move to the 1500. I won't take this down 100%. I don't want to take off too much clear. But you can see the areas that I've left totally untouched, because I'm afraid of these ridges. I know there's some smaller buffers. I know Dell, I saw one he had over there, Dell's Custom Rods down in Milwaukee. I think it was air powered. But here's a point in this vid where those of you who are more tech savvy than me could chime in with some information. Just take the time to write a few sentences down below in the comments. If you have an answer to some of these questions, you would be doing a great service to many viewers if you did. I know I refer to vids all the time when I'm working on my car. People who know more than I do. Oftentimes I take information off the forums and make videos. But if you have a video of your own, that pertains to some of this, by all means feel free to link it to mine down below. Just send a video comment and send your video right to mine. I've set my settings so it'll automatically come. I don't have to approve it. It'll come right up on mine. If we link our videos together, it works out better for everybody. Us and the viewers. And the advertisers. I wish I knew more about these Google Analytics on how the ad placement is done. There's a lot of information out there, and most of it seems to pertain to blogs and websites, but when it comes to the videos, some of the answers I just can't find to my questions. If anybody that knows a little bit more about this, for God's sakes, chime in. You know, targeted ad placement on the videos, things like that. Some of these companies, where you use their products, they could be placing ads to a targeted consumer through these vids. So if you have a product, for God's sakes, however it's done, just stick it on my video. Put it down below there, down in the scrolling ads down below my vid. Okay, so now I'm using this 1500 here. Like I say, I'm just going to keep going and get it a little closer. But you can see I'm taking out every little defect. I found a little one right there. Unfortunately, that has to, I don't know, something happened here. It cracked out. This is old fiberglass. I've had a lot of trouble working with this old fiberglass on my car. Some of this fiberglass I'm working with, God knows it may have been on my car 25, 30 years. Or on cars anyway. These parts and pieces on my car came from everywhere. This is a parts and pieces project. Flying Dutchman is. Yeah, what a way to spend a Saturday afternoon. Hey, tubers. So, I've done this side with the 1500. Take a look at it. I'm happy with it. I hope you are too. But, did I go far enough? Someone on there probably knows more than I do. Is this good enough to start buffing on? But like I said here, I'm really a lot of trepidation about here. I'm going to do some more research to try and find out if there's a way. Maybe another tool, smaller one. That's what I'm thinking. And but I can do this later. It's not going to take, if I want to do more sanding, it's not that tough, I guess. I mean, I've got about 30 minutes in with the 1200, and looks like I'm going to have about 15 minutes in here using this 1500. So, experts, is this going to be good enough, or are you going to say I should have went to 2000? Well, you know, I'm thinking so, but the problem is I don't have any. I didn't think to buy any 2000, but I think I will. I think it's a good idea, probably, to get it with 2000. I understand it might make the buff out job easier on me. But, well, I have about 15 minutes into this one. I'm still using the same pieces of sandpaper. I'll probably start on the car with them. Sandpaper works good. Wow, I haven't put this much work into my cars in the past. In fact, nowhere near. Fortunately, I had friends in the past that helped me with the painting. But let me tell you, you can't build cars like this, like I did then either. I miss those days. You know, on a budget, I was able to build cars that were magazine quality. But nowadays, it costs a fortune. All this work I'm putting in this car will not be as nice as some of my cars from the past. Here's a problem. Well, I didn't see this. My God, look at that. Big old sag clear through here. Alright, well, what a way to spend a Saturday afternoon, eh? Nationwide races on inside, and I'm out here doing this. I heard him talking about Dale Jr. I guess he wrote something. It's all over the web. Something about addressing himself when he was 16. Advice or something. They said it was very, very well done. Well, I'm kind of interested. I have to try to see what he had to write. Okay, so there it is. There's the hood, and here's my deck lid. And right away you'll see I didn't even touch my spoiler. I don't even want to go there. I'll hand polish. I don't know, some other. I'm not worried about it. So, and this is one piece, by the way. A lot of people might think, well, that's bolt-on. No, this is fiberglass. Comes one piece, because I was thinking about taking this off, and I was going to put a wing on the back of my car, but I got another deck lid. But anyway, yeah. So here we go. Can we see any of the little imperfections? I don't know if we can get the camera on here, but little areas. Looks like shadows. Little areas that I took and sanded out. A lot of little fish eyes and little lents and different things. But there it is. I'm going to buff on that. Okay. I wasn't happy with the way it was turning out, so I broke out the 1500 again and sanded it flatter. I wasn't able to get the defects out with the buffer. I know sometimes you can do that with the right compound if you put enough heat into it, but I don't know. Nowadays, I mean, that's what I used to hear, but I don't know anymore. I'm going to put some right in here. I don't know anymore exactly how that all applies. I've seen some of these guys on YouTube doing this. Boy, it looks easy. They make it look easy, but oh, it's not. So anyway, I'm going to go back with this number 2 and try this again. They say not to quit too early on this process here. I guess this compound has abrasives in it. When you start, I bear down hard and then I speed up and then take off some of the pressure. Then if there's a polishing agent, I guess like a rouge, that takes over. So they say just you know, don't quit too soon. Anyway, it's not glass, but I'm liking it much better. I can really see where they say to use that 2000. I think a guy'd be, if he really wants to have a show car, he should put 5 or 6 coats, maybe more. I know I've heard of guys doing 8 coats, and then you go down to what, 2,500, I don't know, whatever, to make it glassy smooth. Well, this is pretty nice. I mean, it should look good to the camera. Let's go ahead and complete this. I'm going to grab another pad here, and I'm going to put this ebony black on here. This stuff is, oh God, seriously, this is probably 30 years old. This turned to liquid. So, you know, what can I say? There's some left and I'm using it. Alright, I'm just going to pour some on here and get with it. Watch out, kitty. I'm going to be slinging some stuff here pretty quick. That's Keeper, my cat. Precious animal. My best friend. Been with me for 15 years. Knock on wood. She's healthy as ever. Every cat in this neighborhood respects her. She's got no problems. Plus she's tough. Yeah, this stuff's looking kind of crappy. I don't know. Looking kind of shitty. I'm really going to sling this stuff, I'm sure. Well, I might as well just do this. I got a block of wood under here. I didn't have it under here before. Alright, we'll switch pads. I'll keep working on this. Well, here's a look at it now. I took it out to cruise in out here. Pizza Bear and cruise in here. End of the summer cruise in Portland. And I'm going to end up doing some more sanding on the hood. I went and resanded the deck lid, and I still have more work to do on it. Take a look at that. We can see that there's some areas that still need attention on it, and I got to get right on the rest of the car and get started right away. Color sanding. Okay, I'm hoping I might have myself a system here. I'm laying out the compound right along that inside edge so I won't burn it, and then doing that section. I've re-sanded this whole hood, put another half hour or so into it to make it flatter and nicer. Alrighty then, let's see what we can see here. I actually have some leftover paint that was reduced, came out of my gun, and I'm just going to try this experiment. I'm going to daub in where the early bugs got into my base coat, because when I sand it down there's a little white dot there that goes down to the primer. So I thought, well, this stuff should dry immediately in this hot sun, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to daub in all these little white spots just for the kicks, see if I can at least get it down in there, and just do it that way. What can it hurt, right? Can't hurt anything. It might buff back out, I don't know. This is my experiment and you get to watch it. While I'm at it, I'd like to give a shout out to the muscle car place. When I'm out here working, I like to listen to all these great podcasts, which there are many now on the internet. I just unleash my dumb smartphone and use it for something worthwhile. Get it on Stitcher there, and I can listen to like Robert Kibbe's, all his broadcasts, and 3 or 4 of his, and LSX and Pro Touring News, muscle car hot rodding news from around. Being stuck up here in the Pacific Northwest where nothing much anything happens. Kind of nice to know what's going on elsewhere. So I listen to a number of shows like CarCast, Adam Carolla's little podcast radio show, and C28.com, and there's some NASCAR stuff like Wind Tunnel, and a number of them, quite a few of them. I know a lot of people don't know that, so thought I'd give that a little shout out for all those great little shows that are out there that keep us informed of what's going on out in the world. Wow, these things are, I'm just going to spread them out a little bit. They are kind of bubbling up. I want to flatten them. Flatten them out some. I don't know if I should put another. I should probably just stick another on there. This stuff's drying up fast. Give it a couple minutes and I'll stick another on top of there. I don't know. I hope I'm not. It doesn't matter. I mean, I can fix it no matter how it turns out. The nice thing about it is I can fix this, so it doesn't really matter whether this little experiment works or not. But I think it's going to help. It's going to cover up those little white dots, at least. Make it a little nicer in the finished product. Alright. We'll wait for a little while, do it again, and then we'll get going here.